Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As you probably know, the new government, global government, is really coming and tells us up front that here we are and we create a parallel United Nations, which we hope will eventually replace the United Nations structure because over there's too many countries that are equal. We need only one, Al Capone, and the rest lapdogs. So I think this is what Davos is. Davos is a replacement of the United Nations under a new structure, which is United States the boss, the interests that work through United States of America being the strongest, and then the lapdogs, and then everybody else supposed to come to these guys and ask for permission. They can't vote anymore. They can't veto anymore. And these guys are going to be about, let's say, 40, 50 countries at the start, beginning, and then they will probably grow to whenever, if the opposition, which is China, Russia, India, the rest of the world, don't fight hard. I'm talking about, politically. So what's going on here? We have this article where, as you know, Davos, it's an economic forum, but somehow it discusses the peace formula, Ukrainian peace formula. That means Zelensky. They ignored every other peace formula, the Chinese peace formula. I think it was even some other guys, I can't remember, it was the Filipinos, or they came with their, South Africa came with its peace formula. India came with the peace formula. Zelensky did not want any, just his. I don't know why they even bothered. So the American says, yes, this is the formula. I think a peace formula that cannot be implemented unless Russia becomes a slave to the United States of America and the interest behind. But nevertheless, they want us to believe that, that's the perfect peace formula, the 10 points. Why don't you go and read them? And try, if you would be, let's say, the Russians would come with that formula in their interest, if you would like it. It's impossible to implement. The Russians will never, unless they become, vassal states, as the other ones will never agree to that. So the Chinese delegation is in Davos, but it did not participate in the discussions of the peace formula. What does that tell you? And I have two articles here. Very interesting. So the Chinese delegation, a big Chinese delegation, that the Americans are complaining to the Swiss government. Hey, you have too many people here. Because if you know, Switzerland, together with other interests, organized this Davos conference, or how you want to forum. So they are involved as well. Now, who's behind that? You can only guess. But you don't know for sure. Maybe you do. I don't. I have some names, but I know it's not. It's just scratching the surface. So let me show you here the first article coming from Ukrainska Pravda. China did not take part in Davos peace formula meeting. Why do you think it's so? Because China knows that China is going to be next after Russia. Russia is just the first step. There's going to be China, unless China understands, for this example, what's going to happen to them if they don't follow orders. China is very practical, very smart. They say, you know what, militarily, you are my enemy. Economically, we both need one another. So why don't we just trade, or engage in trade? Not a war, a trade, but militarily, I have to protect myself from you because you want to destroy me. Not that the Russians would not like to destroy everyone, as we're told, but Russia and China have the same interest against the United States of America, Al Capone. The biggest guy in town wants to take over the whole town. But you got some other strong guys in town that do not want to be bullied and pushed around by this guy. And this guy looks down on them and thinks that he's the boss. Unvoted, all right, unelected. So China says, yes, militarily, we're with Russia. Why? So we protect our country, our territory, our industry, everything, but we're going to do business with you. We're going to work for you. We're going to produce things. You give us money. We sell them to you. Your people that don't have jobs, but they were going to have printed money and loans, are going to buy the products we create for them. You're going to pay. We're going to get the revenue. And so it goes. And the resources are going to come from Russia, We build them, we sell them to you. You give us money and we pay for the Russian energy. Got that? That's the whole thing. Energy, resources, China produces, United States, and gets fatter until explodes or implodes, which one comes first. So here is the situation. Did not take part. And these guys are crying. There was no Chinese representative at the fourth meeting of National Security Advisors concerning the Ukrainian peace formula in Davos on January 14th. So National Security Advisors, it's not economic, National Security Advisors. The office, and this is the first step. The next one is going to be, I don't know, prime ministers and then or vice presidents, and it's going to be presidents or whatever, military delegations and so on, which I think they're already in contact, but they're not ready to tell us that. They get us ready. They marinate us right now. They marinate us until they put us on the grill to burn us. The Office of the President of Ukraine reported earlier that 81 countries and international organizations, 81 countries and international organizations. So I'm taking countries plus international organizations, or 81 countries plus 3,000 international organizations. So in those 81 countries, and in that number 81, is countries plus international organizations, or it's 81 countries and 3,005 trillion international organization. I'm playing for them right now. Had taken part in the meeting, but China was not among them. Although Beijing has been invited, two sources confirmed. Yeah, of course they don't. The same here. There were 66 at the previous meeting in Malta, the country. So probably it's a country, 80 countries, 81 countries. It's not hard. It's not hard. Money can make a lot of people show their representative over there. I mean, let's imagine you're a small country somewhere, and they come and say, hey, you send a representative over there. Okay, we need a check, and we're going to give you some money. We're going to invest something. We're going to help democracy in your country or whatever. And I don't think democracy was a good road, right? We're going to develop something, build a road, and we're going to give you some money. How about that? You think the world doesn't work that way? That's exactly how it works. And the president of that certain country said, yeah, send 3 representatives over there, the Ukrainians. That's the 81 country right here. And who do you think did that? Ukraine? No, the US did that. Pressure all the way. I guarantee you that. If you don't believe me, just maybe stay on this planet a little bit longer and open your eyes, ears, and brain. A big Chinese delegation unnerves US diplomats in Davos. So they were a big Chinese delegation, and these guys get all scared that they got sidelines, or the other guy is going to take over. No, they're not going to take over. These guys, if the United States of America, let's say, wants to close the Davos meetings or destroy the whole momentum, they can do it just like this. No other country is able to do this. If the United States tomorrow wants to make this Davos somewhere over there that the media will never tell you about anymore, they can do that. They can do that. It's only the United States of America. Switzerland cannot do that. Germany cannot do that. No other country has that power because that is controlled by these guys. How do you think Klaus Schwab is able to pull all these strings through what? Money? How is Klaus Schwab going to be able to get all these guys on board? Obviously, he has all little groups that he grows, from what I read. That, I don't know, like Freeland from, for instance, here in Canada, and other people, Macron and others, were little babies. I think even Trudeau of Canada, little babies and little organizations, councils. They just, get them ready, marinate them, and then they release them. They open doors for them, promote them, push other people around, and you see, how is this guy over there? Let's say, how do you think the Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister of newly appointed in France got over there? Because they're so bright and so handsome? Do you think that's what it is? Well, if you think that's the way it is, maybe that plays a role. Maybe. But the rest is someone else. Open the doors, push everybody around, make a phone call. I mean, you put a 34-year-old in charge of the French as a prime minister. You put him over there, appoint him. And then he appoints his former boyfriend, who was in a communion, whatever he was, in France, that now are divorced. They don't know one another. But he appointed that guy as the foreign minister, 38-year-old, with no foreign experience. Nothing. What is this? Well, you know what it is. It's now meritocracy. So put that somewhere in the propaganda these guys give you. It's a fake. It doesn't mean that there's a meritocracy here and there. It is more than in other places, but these guys are not over there by chance. These are pushed, promoted by interest. And then why do you think these guys make decisions in a certain way that are not our decisions? They represent us, but they somehow, when they get over there, put forward, vote for this garbage or for this garbage. Both of them were promoted by the same interest behind. And say, oh, we have free, fair elections. Yeah, you have free, fair elections. But the garbage you were giving is not yours. It's their product. And when they get over there, they're going to do, and you say, why are these politicians not doing what we would like? If you take an opinion poll, you're going to find out that this policy or that issue has popular support. Let's say 70%. Let's talk about the immigration, illegal immigration. Or, I don't know, bathrooms or something like that. They don't conduct referenda, because if they conduct referenda, they will show that the people will be on the opposite than their elected officials. And the elected officials are supposed to represent them over there and push their interest. But they are not their representatives. They are those guys'. So, again, these guys are upset now. They just do like this and Davos closes. Not closes, you don't hear from it, and it loses all its importance. And they will create something else. And again, they will give it a name, not Schwab. Schwab is like a venue, like the owner of a venue, partly. That's what he is. He's like a wedding planner. He's not the guy who's getting married. He's not the people at the party. He's just the guy or the person who's going to call and organize things, and he listens to whatever other people, the groom, the whatever she's, will tell him. Yeah, the families will tell him, you invite this, we will have this, we will have that, and the person is going to organize it. That's what it's going to be, and that's what it is. That's how it is. So yes, my friends, the Chinese did not show up for obvious reasons, because they don't want to legitimize this garbage in Davos. In that, they want money. They want, as I said, resources. Russia, we produce with your investments and your technology. We copy that. We invent ourselves as well. And we sell you this garbage and you pay. And you produce shit. You produce this kind of services. And you print money, inflation, and then you're going to explode and implode. Which one comes first? And then China is going to it's going to find other markets that those guys that destroyed the United States of America will build in other countries. Don't you see that Europe is going down and other countries in the world have economic booms? Because why? You think all of a sudden they just got that spark or something? No. These guys take from here and give over there. These guys became too lazy to do stuff. And they're going to consume. It's like a frog in the boiling water. It's got like stays and consumes, and everybody gets fat. And these guys are just going to pull the little rug from underneath their feet one night. One day, they don't care. Zoop, just like this. And these fat people were going to be like this in no time. What happened? That's exactly what happened. Those guys that you helped create through your work, through your generations, took the capital out of your country with the help of your elected officials, your fair. And you're going to have your democracy still, but you're going to have a lifetime of a third world country. I predict that in maybe 20 years, 20, 30 years. This is a big ship, but this is an accelerated process. And you're going to have other countries that are growing. They're going to be the markets. And then when it's like the cycle. They're going to get big. They're going to get like the Americans. And then the Americans those countries are going to happen the same thing with them. They're going to pull the rug under that, and they're going to go back to the United States of America after about what? 70 years or 100 years. And then from America, they're going to get them fat again. And then the same cycle. Fat, thin, fat, thin. But we pay, and these guys are playing us. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.